Hey, class, welcome back. Welcome to Introductory Psychology. Welcome to week 16 of our course. I can't believe I'm saying that. We only have 2 weeks left in our course. Can you believe it? I barely can. We still have a lot to do before the year is up, but hang in there. We're almost through. We've only got a few more assignments left, a few more topics to cover, and man, we're on our way to Christmas break. I can't believe I'm saying that. So, hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Hopefully, you got to enjoy some of the football yesterday. Had a lot of big college games. Got some good pro games today. The Thunder, Thunder won a game on Friday finally, and I think we play the Spurs tonight, so maybe we make it 2 in a row. So anyways, we've got a lot to cover today. We got our last writing assignment this week that I wanted to discuss briefly. I went ahead and posted the details onto D2L, but I wanted to discuss it at more length with you all. Our last writing assignment is where I want you to find a scholarly or scientific article related to the field of psychology and simply skim the article. I'm not asking you to read the entire thing because some of the articles you're going to find are going to be pretty dense, but at least just get a nice feel for what the article is. And so it has to be related to psychology. It has to be peer reviewed, meaning that other scientists have looked at the article and have reviewed it. So, I've posted an example of D2L of a scholarly article on the subject of mindfulness, something that I study and research as a graduate student. So I posted an article for you to get a feel of what a scholarly article looks like. You should be able to locate scholarly articles from places like Google Scholar would be one of the easiest places, and also the OSU OKC library would as well. My recommendation to you is to go to scholar.google.com. And then whatever subject you're interested in as far as within the field of psychology, just type it into the search bar and you will get thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of results. So, for example, if you're interested in, childhood depression, maybe just as an example, maybe that's a topic you're interested in. If you go to Google Scholar, you type in childhood depression and voila, you probably have a million articles, maybe not literally a million, but you have quite a few to work with. So essentially what I want you to do is locate an article, kind of skim through the article, and then I want you to provide me some detail, give me a summary of the article, tell me what kind of research was conducted. You might have to actually refer back to chapter 2 to look at this. Was it an experimental study? Was it a case study? Was it a correlation? Kind of go back through, maybe have to look at, chapter 1, not chapter 2, chapter 1 on some of the research methodology. How many participants were involved, what sort of variables were measured or manipulated, kind of give me in your own words what were the main findings, and then kind of what we can take away from the article. So ideally your description and analysis should be about 2 pages in length, double spaced of course, and it's absolutely important that you provide a citation. Absolutely important. If you do not provide a citation, your assignment will not be graded. I'll let you know, hey, if you forgot a citation, please give me one. But if, for whatever reason, you don't give me a citation, then you don't earn the points. So please make sure that you give me a link to the article that you provided. And also, please don't use the article that I provided either. I will not accept that. That's just an example. You'll have to dig and do your own research. But simply find an article of a topic that interests you, anything related to psychology, so you could go through and from our course book, our textbook, and you could pick out any topic, if it interests you, and find an article on that, describe it, and write it up. That will be due on the 11th at 11:59 p.m. So that's one assignment out of the way. Our next big assignment is our last exam, which covers chapters 13 and 14. It only covers 2 chapters. It's still 50 questions. But it only covers 2 chapters. I went ahead and opened that now, and I'm giving you until the last Friday of our semester, which is the 15th. So you'll have, until the 15th to take exam 4. Again, I'll leave that open. It'll be open until the 15th at 11:59 p.m., but I will need your grades in, all of your grades in by then, so please be aware. So with that in mind, I want you to read chapter 14. You can read it this week or next week, whenever you decide, but chapter 14 is the last chapter you'll need to read, and that is on social psychology. And this is the chapter where sociology and psychology sort of intersect. If you've ever taken a sociology class, you'll probably see some overlap there. So a lot of topics within this field. It's its own course at many universities. But after this chapter, you should be able to define what attitudes are and discuss factors that shape attitudes. You'll be able to discuss the difference between prejudice and discrimination, discuss factors that contribute to interpersonal attraction and love, define social perception and factors that influence it. explain why people obey authority figures and conform to social pressure, discuss factors that contribute to aggression, and then finally you'll be able to describe the differences between the ways in which people behave as individuals and as members of a group. And this chapter is also really interesting because you'll get an exposure to 3 of the most infamous experiments in psychology. You'll get to see Solomon Asch's study of conformity, Milgram's obedience study, and then finally the Stanford prison experiment, which you may have heard of coming into this course. There's movies about it, there's documentaries, etc. So make sure you read chapter 14. I will put up a discussion post for next week. We have one more discussion to do. I'll put that up next week since you're working on a writing assignment this week. But just know, before the semester lets out, we have one last writing assignment, one exam, and one more discussion. Other than that, that'll be our last point. So you should kind of have a good idea where your grade will be at. If you have any questions about the assignments at all, feel free to email me. Feel free to contact on the discussion post, whichever works. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But I think that's about it. So again, make sure that this week you find a scholarly article, provide an overview of that article, turn it in before the 11th. You have an exam due on the 15th, and then one more discussion post I'll post next week. So anyways, other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you guys next week. All right, take care.